Okay, so we've looked at the properties of multiplication, and I think it would be useful to see them applied to particular problems. So we're just going to quickly go through a few different multiplication problems. So number one, we're going to look at 324 times 46. Right, so one way to do this, the classic way, is to use as few steps as possible in our writing of it. We're still going to have to do 3 multiplications by 6 and 3 multiplications by 4. So 3 plus 3, 6 individual multiplications, but it's only going to take up 2 lines. Alternately, we could put the 46 up top and the 324 on the bottom. And then we'll do 2 multiplications by 4, 2 multiplications by 2, 2 multiplications by 3, 2 plus 2 plus 2. That's 6 individual times table multiplications. But we're going to have 3 lines at the end. But at the very end, we'll have the same answer. So let's get into this. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 2 is 14. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 1 is 19. I'm going to move over to the tens place, so I'll put my placeholder. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. 4 times 3 is 12. And it's just 12. I didn't have to carry because 9 is a single digit number. So I add that up. 4, 6 and 8, 9, 10. And as 18 plus 1 is 19. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, put my comma in. 14,904. Right? And because I was still focused on the context, I wasn't having to go off to the side to do those little multiplications. I could recognize that this was a 9 and my bad handwriting didn't interrupt me too much. If you're having to go back and forth and really focus in on certain aspects of a problem, your handwriting really might make a difference because of that switch in your concentration. All right, let's try it the other way. 4 times 6 is 24 still, but now 4 times 4 is 16, plus 2 is 18. Now I look at the 2 in the tens place. So I put my placeholder. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. And I'm done. 3 digits, just like the top one is 3 digits. That's fine. Now I'm in the hundreds place, so I put my 2 placeholders. So I'm over in the hundreds place. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13. So I add that up. 4 plus 0 is 4. 8 plus 2 is 10. 9, 10, plus 8 is 18, plus 1 more is 19. 3 plus 1 is 4. And 1 by itself is 1. So that's a 9, not a, whatever that looked like. So there we go, 14,904. Same as 14,904. Right? The commutative property says you can multiply whichever number is in whichever place you want. But in general, this first way is a little bit faster. The fewer terms you have to add up at the end, the faster it is. So you want this bottom number to the fewer digits, the fewest digits possible within the problem. All right, but let's kind of look at another example where we might think it goes a particular way, but we actually want to do the opposite. So let's try 324 times 60,000. 60,000 is a big number. So let's get into here. 60,000. That's now got 5 digits compared to the 3 before versus 324. Or I could put the 324 up top and 60,000 on the bottom. Right? So start 4 times 0 is 0, 0, 0, 0. There's a 0 property in action. Then 4 times 6 is 24. All right, put my placeholder. Now 2 times 0 is 0, 0, 0, 0. 2 times 6 is 18. And then put my placeholders in. Now I'm starting in the hundreds place. 3 times 0 is 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, and 3 times 6. Oh, did I mess this up? This was a 2. That should have been a 12, not an 18 here. Let me fix that. This is kind of proving my point that this is not a good strategy to employ, right? All of these zeros, keeping track of everything, it's hard. Okay, 3 times 6, there's my 18. And now I'm going to add all of this up. Okay, adding a bunch of zeros, that's not a problem. But keeping everything lined up, okay, 0, not 4, 6, okay, 0, 0, 0, 0, that looks like 4. And then 8 plus 2 plus 2, so it's 10 plus 2 is 12. 1, 2, 3. So I've got 3, 2, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. It doesn't seem quite right. 324 times 60,000 is 324. Wouldn't that be 324 times 10,000? What did we do wrong here? Well, we made some mistakes, right? Well, let's move on to this other version and see what's going on. So start over with the blue. 0 times 4, 0 times 2, 0 times 3. All right, put a placeholder. 0 times 4, 0 times 2, 0 times 3. Put 2 placeholders. 0 times 4, 0 times 2, 0 times 3. Put 3 placeholders. 0 times 4, 0 times 2, 0 times 3. All of these zeros, oof, what a mess, right? There's a third way that uses the associative property of multiplication. Right? Let's look at this. 60,000 means 6 in the 10,000s place. That's the definition of a number with a bunch of zeros, right? The 6 in the 10,000s place and nothing else. So that's 6 10,000s is 60,000. That's being multiplied for this problem by 324. So what I really want to do is associate the 6 not with the 10,000, associate the 6 with a 324. That I can keep track of without going crazy. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 2 is 14. 6 times 3 is 18. 18 plus 1 is 19. So I think over here, my zeros didn't all line up the way they should, right? 4 zeros, 5 zeros. Yeah, there should have been an extra 0 here for the green one. And so the 18 was in the wrong place, so that's why I got the wrong answer, right? But that's a lot easier to keep track of when I just have those 3. So I get 1944 times 10,000. So times 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, right? Those 4 zeros I can just tack on at the end, because each time you multiply by 10, you're moving your number to the left by 1 place, right? With a 0 filling in that place. So this 4, instead of being in the ones place, is now in the 10,000s place, because the 6, instead of being in the ones place, was really in the 10,000s place. And now I see that the answer to this problem is 19,440,000. And none of this, if I can do that right, none of this and none of this was necessary, right? All I needed was this little bit of multiplication, recognizing the place value. So that's a shortcut. If I had 60,325, then I would need to do it this long way, right? Because there's a lot more digits to multiply there. I just have to pay closer attention to how I'm lining those up. But when it's not just a bunch of zeros, when it's actual multiplication products, then it's usually easier to keep straight. But just have nice handwriting, keep track of your columns, and don't multiply by unnecessary zeros. Use this shortcut, please, whenever you can. Even if it's just, let's squeeze in one last problem here. Even if it's just 324 times 60, right? Don't do 324 times 60 with the 60 on the bottom. Do 324 times 6, right? Do your 1944, and then say, oh yeah, but it wasn't 6, it was 6D, so we tack that 0 at the end, right? We're not adding 0 as in literally plus 0. We're adding the 0 to the end because this was a times 10, so we need to show that times 10. We need to associate the 6 with the 324 and then multiply by 10 at the end instead of multiplying by 10 at the beginning. So much easier when we have those trailing zeros.